dogs have long captured our hearts with their loyalty, their intelligence, and their seemingly endless capacity for joy. Yet, anyone who has lived with a canine companion knows that dogs can sometimes behave in ways that seem mysterious or even puzzling. Among the most common of these quirks is the moment when a dog suddenly starts barking at what appears to be absolutely nothing: a quiet corner of the living room, an empty hallway, or the silent darkness outside. For many owners, this behavior can be both confusing and, on occasion, a little unnerving. What, after all, is prompting your beloved pet to sound the alarm when there's nothing visible to warrant concern? To understand why dogs bark at nothing and to learn how best to handle this behavior, it's important to explore the intricate relationship between canine senses, instincts, and their bond with humans. At the heart of the matter is the fact that dogs experience the world in a fundamentally different way than humans do. While people tend to rely primarily on their vision to interpret their surroundings, dogs are guided by a far more complex network of senses. A dog's sense of smell, for instance, is estimated to be tens of thousands of times more acute than that of a human. Their hearing, too, is remarkably sensitive, capable of detecting frequencies far beyond our range. This heightened perception means that a dog may be reacting to stimuli that are completely invisible or inaudible to us. Imagine for a moment that you're sitting in your living room and your dog suddenly perks up, ears pricked and body tense. A moment later, he begins barking at the wall. To you, it's just a wall, a blank expanse with no movement, no sound. But to your dog, it could be a very different story. Perhaps he's picked up the faint scent of another animal, drifting in through a crack in the window. Or maybe there's a subtle vibration, the distant rumble of a truck passing by, that's imperceptible to your ears but sets his nerves on edge. Dogs are, in essence, natural sentinels, always alert to the slightest change in their environment. It's also important to recognize that barking is one of a dog's primary means of communication. While humans have spoken language, dogs rely on a combination of vocalizations, body language, and scent to express their feelings and intentions. Barking can serve many purposes. It can be a warning, an invitation to play, a call for attention, or an expression of excitement. In some cases, barking at nothing may actually be a response to an internal state rather than an external one. A bored, anxious, or understimulated dog may bark simply as a way to relieve tension or to seek interaction from their owner. Additionally, certain breeds are more prone to barking than others. Terriers, for example, were bred to be alert and vocal, often tasked with guarding farms and homes from intruders. Herding breeds like Border Collies and Australian Shepherds have a natural inclination to control and monitor their environment, which can manifest as frequent barking. On the other hand, breeds like Greyhounds or Basenjis tend to be quieter and less reactive. Understanding your dog's genetic predisposition can help you contextualize their behavior and tailor your response accordingly. Sometimes, what appears to be barking at nothing is actually a learned behavior. Dogs are remarkably adept at picking up on patterns and routines. If, in the past, your dog barked and you responded with attention, perhaps by petting them, offering treats, or simply talking to them, they may have learned that barking is an effective way to get what they want. This can create a cycle where the dog barks more frequently, even in the absence of a clear trigger, simply because they've come to associate barking with positive outcomes. Another factor to consider is the impact of age and health. Older dogs may experience changes in their sensory perception, including diminished eyesight or hearing. This can lead to confusion or disorientation, prompting them to bark more often or at inappropriate times. Cognitive decline, sometimes referred to as canine cognitive dysfunction, similar to dementia in humans, can also cause dogs to become more vocal or to bark seemingly without reason. So, what can you do when your dog barks at nothing? The first step is to observe closely and gather information. Pay attention to the context in which the barking occurs. Is it always at a certain time of day or in a particular location? Do you notice any subtle environmental changes, a shift in light, a new sound, or an unfamiliar scent? Sometimes, Simply moving to the area your dog is focused on can reveal the cause. A squirrel outside the window, the hum of an appliance, or even the shadow cast by passing cars. If, after careful observation, it remains unclear what's prompting your dog's barking, consider their emotional state. Are they getting enough physical exercise and mental stimulation? Dogs with excess energy or unmet needs are far more likely to engage in attention-seeking behaviors, including barking. Ensure your dog's daily routine includes plenty of opportunities for play, exploration, and training. Interactive toys, puzzle feeders, and regular walks can make a significant difference in reducing unwanted vocalizations. In cases where barking seems to stem from anxiety or fear, it's important to address the underlying cause rather than simply attempting to suppress the behavior. Dogs may bark when they're startled by unfamiliar noises, when they sense something unusual, or when they're feeling vulnerable. Providing a safe, comfortable environment, complete with a cozy bed, familiar toys, and a consistent routine, can help reassure your dog. If your dog is particularly sensitive to outside noises, consider using white noise machines or closing windows to minimize auditory triggers. Training is another key tool in managing excessive barking. Basic obedience commands such as quiet or enough can be taught using positive reinforcement techniques. When your dog begins barking, wait for a brief pause and immediately reward them with praise or a treat. Over time, your dog will learn to associate silence with positive outcomes. Be patient. Changing established behaviors takes time and consistency. Avoid yelling or punishing your dog for barking, as this can increase anxiety and confusion, making the problem worse. For dogs who bark primarily out of boredom, increasing engagement is essential. Regular play sessions, social interactions with other dogs, and new experiences can help channel their energy into more constructive outlets. Try introducing new toys or rotating existing ones to keep things fresh. Training sessions that challenge your dog's mind, teaching new tricks, practicing agility, or engaging in scent games can also provide much-needed stimulation. If your dog's barking is persistent and you're unable to identify a clear cause, it's worth consulting with a veterinarian. Medical issues such as pain, hearing loss, or cognitive decline can contribute to changes in behavior. A thorough health check can rule out underlying conditions and provide guidance on appropriate treatment if necessary. In some cases, working with a professional dog trainer or behaviorist may be beneficial, especially if barking is accompanied by other signs of distress, such as pacing, whining, or destructive behaviors. A qualified expert can assess your dog's environment, temperament, and history to develop a tailored plan for reducing unwanted barking. It's also important to manage your own expectations and emotions. Dogs are inherently vocal creatures, and occasional barking is a normal part of their repertoire. Attempting to eliminate barking entirely is neither practical nor fair. Instead, focus on understanding your dog's individual needs and responding in a way that promotes harmony and well-being for both you and your canine companion. Ultimately, barking at nothing is rarely as mysterious as it seems. Whether it's a response to subtle stimuli, a call for attention, or a manifestation of boredom, your dog's vocalizations are a window into their world. A world rich with scents, sounds, and sensations that we can only begin to imagine. By approaching the issue with empathy, curiosity, and patience, you can strengthen your bond with your dog and help them feel safe, understood, and content. Let's take a closer look at some real-life scenarios to illustrate these principles in action. Imagine a household where a young Labrador begins barking every evening at the same spot in the dining room. The owners are baffled. There's nothing there but a blank wall. After some investigation, they realize that the spot aligns perfectly with an air vent, which emits a faint whistling noise as the heating system kicks on. To the dog, this barely perceptible sound is intriguing, perhaps even alarming. By adding a cover to the vent and redirecting the dog's attention with a toy, the barking gradually subsides. In another home, a senior beagle starts barking at the front door late at night. The owners fear an intruder, but repeated checks reveal nothing. A veterinarian visit uncovers age-related hearing loss, causing the dog to become confused by nighttime sounds that he can't fully interpret. The family responds by creating a more predictable bedtime routine, including soothing music and a comfortable sleeping area. The dog's anxiety decreases, and nighttime barking becomes less frequent. A third example involves a high-energy border collie who barks at the window for hours, seemingly at nothing. Observing more closely, the owners notice that the dog perks up at the slightest movement outside, a passing car, a rustling leaf, or a distant pedestrian. Understanding that their dog needs more stimulation, they increase daily exercise and introduce scent-based games. The dog's need to patrol the window diminishes and the barking abates. These stories highlight the importance of looking beyond the obvious and considering the full range of factors that might influence your dog's behavior. Whether the cause is sensory, emotional, or environmental, the solution often lies in addressing your dog's needs holistically. It's also worth noting that dogs are highly attuned to their owner's emotions. If you react to barking with anxiety or frustration, your dog may pick up on these cues and become more agitated. Conversely, responding with calm, confident leadership can help reassure your dog and reinforce positive behaviors. Practice deep breathing, maintain a relaxed posture, and use a gentle but firm voice when guiding your dog. For those living in shared spaces or urban environments, managing barking becomes even more critical. Excessive vocalization can strain relationships with neighbors and create stress for everyone involved. By proactively addressing the root causes, you can foster a more peaceful and enjoyable living environment. In summary, dogs bark at nothing for a variety of reasons, most of which are rooted in their unique sensory abilities, instincts, and emotional needs. Rather than viewing this behavior as a nuisance or mystery, approach it as an opportunity to deepen your understanding of your canine companion. Observe, investigate, and respond with empathy. Offer plenty of enrichment, establish clear boundaries, and seek expert guidance when necessary. With patience and commitment, you can help your dog feel secure and happy, and enjoy a quieter, more harmonious home together. Remember, every bark has a story. Sometimes it's a tale of hidden scents or distant sounds. Other times, it's a call for attention, a sign of boredom, or a plea for comfort. By listening closely and responding thoughtfully, you'll not only address unwanted barking, but also build a stronger, more trusting relationship with your dog, one that honors their instincts while nurturing their well-being.